Welcome to Obstacle Running Adventures,
the podcast that fuels your passion for obstacle course racing,
running, and all things adventurous.
Whether you're a seasoned pro or a weekend warrior,
we've got news updates as well as interviews with athletes
and other key members of our athletic community.
As a weekly show since 2017, we have covered everything from
championship and virtual races
to fundraising events and FKTs. And now, here are your hosts,
Michael Stefano and Caitlin Ritter.
Standing on the corner, lost all my clothes.
Hey you guys, it's Michael Stefano.
And Caitlin Ritter. And Mikey, how was your weekend?
Pretty good. We went to your our cousin-in-law's lake house, which we've talked about for years.
Yes, and I think we're going to make it like an annual trip.
You think?
That's what they said.
That'd be fun. Yeah, it took about 3 hours to get to and about 5.5 hours to get back.
I don't understand how that trip home was so long.
Was it really that long, though?
Yes.
Yeah, I tried not to think about it during it, but in hindsight, that was our day.
We could have made it to New Jersey.
Oh, easily, yeah. But it was still a good time, so thanks for having us. We went swimming in the rain. They're like, oh, it's raining. And I go, hey, the water's wet, right? Like, we're going to get wet anyway. So it's pouring. And I'm like, yeah, let's go swimming.
And then you were the first one in the lake. And you were like, oh, it's not that bad. And no one believed you. Mm-hmm. But who got in the lake? I got in the lake.
Yeah. You know what? I'm actually going to try to refrain from swearing. I'm going to take that word out because this one, I think some kids might be listening to this. Because Lionhearts Fitness.
Oh.
Yeah. And he led by example. I think he only swore once. Oh, so you know what? So I only swore once. I'm going to try to keep it clean.
Why don't you just not swear at all?
I don't know. I'm passionate.
I don't understand. You work with kids all day. Are you dropping F-bombs with them?
No. But this is when I don't. All right. Let's get to our sponsors.
Shout out Mudgear. Use code ADVENTURE for 15% off your next Mudgear purchase. You know, I got a Mudgear bag in the mail today.
Yes. Was it the what'd you get? Pants?
I got long leggings. They're like compression leggings. And then I got like bike short length.
Nice.
I'm not
That's
sure
to wear
what
under
I'm
the
gonna wear.
wetsuit.
Yes.
Yeah, and your wetsuit will be coming in soon, so you can test those under.
I'm very sure. What if it doesn't fit? Like, I have 10 days till we leave to the UK.
Yeah, I'd be afraid too.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Use code OCR Report for 20% off your next Spartan, Deca, or Tough Mudder.
Did you get Caterpie too?
Oh, shoot. No, use OCR Report 20 for 20% off your next Caterpie purchase.
Perfect. We're going to shout out the $5+ Patreon supporters.
Jason Dupree, who we'll be seeing shortly.
Yeah.
Samantha Thompson, Bradley Keel, Charlotte Engelman, Aaron Grindstaff, Laura and Stephen Ritter, Hank and Arlene Stefano, Cheryl Miller, Jessica Johnson, who we'll also be seeing shortly, Christopher Hoover, Kevin Gregory Jr., who, guess what?
Is he going too?
His wife's going, so I assumed he's going.
Ooh, awesome.
Evan Irick, Brent George, Logan Nagel, Asa Coddington, Seth Renderknecht, and Robert Landman.
Yeah, Asa, who actually gets a brief shout out in this episode as well. And to the OCR Report for being a great home for us on the internet.
And to Will Hicks,
the Podfather. Check it out over at theocrreport.com.
What are they up to, Mikey?
We're getting really excited for World's Toughest Mudder. That's what's going on.
They just posted in the World's Toughest Mudder community group that they have a puzzle piece.
Yes. Which I think this is how we did the puzzle piece giveaway in the past, but I could be wrong.
Yes. So previously it's been like Facebook challenges.
Yeah, fun. But they've actually had like puzzles pieces hidden out in the world.
Yes, which is super cool.
That's fantastic. But I think it's because like the UK is a lot smaller than the US.
Yeah, but if they like mailed people one and was like, hey, put this out in the wild somewhere, like you could do that.
I think it's awesome, yeah.
I want one to give away.
And to our sponsored athletes.
Javier Escobar, Kelly Sullivan, Ryan Brizzolara, Joshua Reed, and Kevin Gregory.
Yeah. We didn't do a poll this week, did we?
Yes, we did.
Oh.
I posted the poll and I said, will we see you at WTM?
And 26% of people said, yes, I'm running it. 10% of people said, yes, I'm a pit crew member. And 65% of people said, no, but I'll watch the live stream. Hint, hint.
I'd like to call out one specific person
Is it Will Hicks?
This. It is Will Hicks. He voted and he said, no, but I'll watch the live stream.
Yes.
He is the live stream.
Yes, he said, I don't know if he hit the wrong button or what, but he said, yeah, I'll be watching it closer than anybody else.
That's true.
Actually, that is a good point because he will be, him and Fran on the front lines watching that.
I'm really excited though.
Yeah, they'll be seeing like a lot more, all the cameras all at the same time, and they got to pick and choose. It's more work than you would think. Meme of the week, we're going to skip. We're going to head right on over to quick news, starting with the show called Air Force Elite Thunderbirds, and someone we know is on it.
Aaron Grindstaff posted on Instagram, Air Force Elite Thunderbirds is out on Netflix. If you're interested in watching an amazing, incredibly inspiring documentary, check this out. You'll also catch a glimpse of my husband, who was the flight surgeon for the team.
Yeah, he goes by the nickname of Angry, which I love because I asked why they call him Angry, and she said, well, because he's just the smiliest guy. Great guy. I haven't seen them in years, but I love the both of them. So
I'm sad they won't be at World Stuff as Mutter.
Yeah, I hope they're doing well. We should reach out again. Do you remember during like COVID, we had like calls and all that? Yeah, kind of miss a little bit of that. Next up, there's no post on this, which is okay, but Brett Mazza got married.
We love a wedding.
Yeah, he had a story, and they both looked... Actually, I have a picture so you can see it.
Because what does Caitlin love? Weddings.
A wedding. Look how cute they look.
Oh, they do look so cute.
Yeah,
he's got a naked face, though. I never realized that.
Yeah. But those eyes, though.
I know. I hope he's not listening. I will be very embarrassed.
He's aware he's got eyes. Now we're going to head on over... Oh, no. Before we get to podiums, there was some awesome work done by the OCR Directory, who compared the New Jersey Spartan Ultra, which I notoriously DNF'd.
It's okay to DNF.
Yeah. It's not great. To the Cincinnati Ultra. And this didn't make me feel great, but it might make people that did the DNF the Cincinnati Ultra a little bit better. Let's focus on like the overall DNFs.
So in New Jersey, 25.6% of people DNF'd.
Which rounds up
to 1 in 4 people.
Mm-hmm.
And
in Cincinnati,
73.3% of people DNF.
That's like a lot closer to Killington numbers. That's insane.
Mike, you need to feel better about this, though, because it breaks it down, and 35% of the open waivers DNF'd.
God, he does such a great job with this. The average finish time for the top 10 athletes was 8 hours and 7 minutes for New Jersey. For Cincinnati, it was 10 hours and 51 minutes. Pretty big gap there. The fastest time was 7 hours and 22 minutes in New Jersey and 9 hours and 59 minutes in Cincinnati. Vert and miles. So the vert was about a little bit more than 10,000 in New Jersey and more than 9,000 in Cincinnati. But the mileage was 32.6 in New Jersey and 36.2 in Cincinnati. So that's big there too.
That is
crazy.
The
steepness. I didn't even see the steepness.
Oh, I do 12% on the treadmill all the time.
Yeah, try doing that for 7 hours and 22 minutes as the fastest person.
I hope not.
Nuts. So if you DNF'd, sounds like you are not alone. I saw some pictures and it looked hellish. So shout out to those people.
It is okay to DNF.
I know. Now we're going to get to some podiums, starting with the Spartan Honor Series Colorado Springs Super. For the women.
In third place, Anastasia Shamashkia.
Anastasia.
What?
Just spelled differently.
Okay. In second place, Janice Galopsi. And in first place, Annie Doobie.
Nice. And for the men?
In third place, Joseph Mendoza. In second place, Damir Akajmadov.
Who I think was the person who won the Spartan Ultra in the previous
And in first place, Andy
Boudreau. Nice. Now we're going to go to Canada. Spartan Monterey Sprints for the ladies.
In third place, Nicole McManus. In second place, Erin McShane. And in first place, Lizette Garcia.
I thought you were going to say Mick Garcia. For the men.
In third place, Maximiliano Fernaria. In second place, Giovanni Mendoza. And in first place, Jeff Shady.
This will be the last time that we'll give a shout out to the Spartan Trail. Sorry, but there's just so many. But Spartan Trail and Toro Park for the women's marathon.
In third place, Elizabeth Eldridge. In second place, Bridget Keenan. And in first place, Mindy Archer. And for the men, in third place, Alfonso Sirico Torres. In second place, Ivan Gutierrez. And in first place, Calvin Barbonas.
And for the half marathon for the women.
In third place, Samantha Vey. In second place, Chloe McKillian. And in first place, Laurel Trebilco.
For the men.
In third place, Bryant Arts. In second place, Benito San Juan. And in first place, Kyle Sears.
And then they had a 10K for the women. Gosh.
In third place, Athena Rodriguez. In second place, Carolina Garcia. And in first place, Betty G.
Which this looks actually pretty competitive. So shout out to these people.
And for the men's 10K, in third place, Albert Frady. In second place, Dario Rodriguez. And in first place, Miguel Mendoza.
And, okay, no 5K, so that makes things easier there. Now we're going to Thailand for the Spartan Hua Hin Super for the men.
In third place, Chris Davis. In second place,
Oleksiy
Milnicki. And in first place, Roynel Della Fuente.
Yep, for the women.
In third place, Soraya Sates. In second place, Melissa Campos. And in first place, Sandy Machini Abanha.
Okay, and now for the Hua Hin Sprint men.
In third place, Chris Davis. In second place, Alex Winslow. And in first place, Olski Milnik.
And for the women?
In third place, Maggie
Svetkovic.
In second place, Melissa Campos. And in first place, Sandy Menchi Aban.
Nice. Now we're going to go over to the Midwest for Frontline OCR's Men's Special Forces podiums.
In third place, John Colozzi. In second place, Emmett Larson. And in first place, Kevin Thompson.
For the women?
In first place, Aaliyah Imas.
I believe this is the race where you have to wear the weighted vest. For the men's heroes.
In third place, Edward LeMay. In second place, Maurice Dernaldo. And in first place, Chris Ellis.
No women finishers for that one. For the men's endurance.
In third place, Sean Flannery. In second place,
Joselito
Ponce. And in first place, John Pless.
For the women.
In third place, Keely Winsma. In second place, Katie Bridge. And in first place, Vivian Tran.
And the men's ruck.
In third place, Evan Hauer. In second place, Jeffrey Clark. And in first place, Kevin Korokowski.
That's a lot. Koronkowski for the women's ruck.
Tammy Cotterba.
And the Spartan Tri-State New York Super, which we're pretty close to.
Yeah, we were. In third place, Melissa Ryback. In second place, Taylor Ray. And in first place, Cassandra Gill. For the men, in third place, Alex Hagen-Weiss. In second place, Tyler McCready. And in first place, Adam Beach. And for the Spartan Cincinnati Ultra. In third place, holy smokes, John Dzauzkowicz.
I can't help with that one.
In second place, Ryan Millard. And in first place, Daniel Verbene.
And for the women?
In third place, Nadia Ortiz. In second place, Jennifer Medora. And in first place, Julia Heinrich.
And the Spartan Cincinnati Beast for the final.
In third place, Aaron Lake. In second place, Mark Gaudette. And in first place, Addison Coles.
For the women?
In second place, Emily McAfee. And in first place, Kylie Dosset.
Perfect. That was a decent amount.
Yeah, that kept me busy.
5 secret links down below, so go and check those out. But let's finally get to what this episode is all about. So I've been aware of Chainsaw Rick for a while, and I've heard great things about him. We mentioned his cancer diagnosis during Quick News during a previous episode, and I figured between that and him crushing the Hildervat podiums, it'd be a great time to finally have him on the show. So we talk about how he found the sport, his favorite moments in the sport, including some race wins, how Hildervat has been doing with their events, him supporting Lionhearts Fitness, how he's dealing with his cancer, and much more. So let's get to the interview with Chainsaw Rick. We'll jump right into it. We'll start off with your name and where you're from.
My real name's Richard Shin. I'm from Clearwater, Florida. Everybody knows me as Chainsaw Rick. And often people ask me, well, how'd I get that name? Well, I'm a tree surgeon and I cut trees for a living. So that's how I got that name. One of the guys at work a long, long time ago, he pretty much gave me that name. And originally I started Instagram as OCR Jesus because I got the beard and the hair, and that didn't work out. And I mean, like, people were like, what's that? Ochre Jesus? Like nobody knew OCR. And then like for me to have the title as Jesus is a little, I try to be a good guy, but like I'm not perfect. And yeah, so changed it up to Chainsaw Rick.
So you already answered my following 2 questions of why Chainsaw Rick and do you prefer arborist or tree surgeon? I think tree surgeon sounds very, very fun.
When you say arborist, people are like, "What's that?"
Mm.
They're like, "What is that?" Well, it really dates back so long ago for an arborist. Like back in biblical days, actually, there was arborists, and it's always been a thing, to be able to properly prune a tree because it's important. It's really important, especially if the trees provide food.
Yeah.
So
how long have you been a tree surgeon?
I started cutting grass when I was 13, so it's like 27 plus years for that. But I didn't start cutting trees until I was 18 or 19. And I actually, I really went and got a lot of education when I moved up to New York. And my uncle pretty much kind of like sent me up the hill with a saw, and he's like, "Go clear the path." And like, I remember going up there and I was like, "What?" So I did the thing, cleared the path so he could get by with the tractor. And then we hook up this big long log. I chain it up. He's dragging it down it was a hill. It was kind of mountain for me because, like I'm from Florida. So, but I jumped on that sucker and was surfing it down the hill. And he's looking back like, what the? I've always been wild like that. So
that's great.
Good time.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds very straightforward. Like, oh, you cut down trees, but it's almost like there's an art to it. There's no shortage of videos of seeing people doing it incorrectly.
Wrong.
Right. Yeah. Straight up.
Fun to watch.
Absolutely.
I used to be like the guys at work would be like pulling the phone out and getting video, and I'd be like, "Hey, no videos, because you know what happens when you're shooting the videos, right? Things start going wrong." But now it's like, if I got the time and I feel like it's something cool, we'll get some videos.
Yeah, no, that's great. Awesome. So let's get to some OCR a little bit. What is your athletic background like before obstacle course racing, and then how did you find obstacle course racing?
First, well, I did play football in high school and JV football, but that was kind of like a dabble, I guess. And then I was a skateboarder back then, so like, I was a troublemaker. I was skateboarding around town, damaging the curbs and all the walls, and nobody liked us, but it was fun then, and it was good for us to be doing something. So, like I did that for a while, and then, it was like time went on. I graduated high school, and it was basically just fell into the work grind, and athleticism and fitness were not really a part of my life at all. And then my life went into some turmoils with like when I had lost my son. And then a little bit after that, I got divorced, and then I got a DUI. And that was all within like a year and a half, just like, bam. I say that I basically tripped myself and fell flat on my face. And I needed something. Like I needed to cultivate a good habit. And I found running, and like, it was hard. Sure, it's hard. It's still hard now, but like I fell in love with running. Maybe it was because the endorphin release, like I stopped drinking. So it was like I needed that, like that good feeling to come from somewhere.
Yeah.
And running gave me that. It helped me sleep better. It got me out of depression, but it wasn't enough, right? It was just like, I need more purpose here. So I see like a video or an ad for Spartan Race, and I was like, oh, okay. I'm give that a shot. So I went and did that, and I placed like 22nd or 21st overall in the elite field. Wow. First race, I'm elite, right?
Yeah, not
like
bad.
I didn't do age or open or any. I went straight for elite. I got the board shorts on, shirt. I got like the cleared to walk glasses and my bandana. Like I was ready. I didn't know what I was getting into, and after I figured out, like, I was like, well, I did pretty good. And I'm looking at the other guys. I'm like, these guys are like studs out here, these guys, and I'm like, I was fairly impressed with myself. So I'm like, okay, we need to take this a little further then, like keep going, and like, I do remember the first few races, it was like the venues didn't have energy that much. Like the elite guys would come, they would race, and then they would dip. They was out, right? Like, nobody really hung out, and like the cheering, like it was minimal. And I'm like, well, we got to step it all up. So like, I just brought it full force to everything I could and just, started training. I'd show up for the races. I wouldn't just race my race, but I would go back out and race another race with people in the open and be like, just supporting them. And if I wasn't racing 3 races in a day, which I pretty much was, I would just stay on the sidelines and cheer people on because it was fun. It was fun to me. I liked it. And that's kind of how people really know me, is that, like, I'll be there at like the hardest obstacle trying to give you tips and cheering you on because I like to see people succeed. It's really cool.
Yeah,
it is.
So what year did you find OCR? What year did you do your first?
I think it was 2017 or 2018. Florida Beast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those were definitely good years for the sport for sure.
Yeah, it was fun, and it was good because it gave me a direction, and it kind of helped me like see that I was like a badass. I didn't know I was a badass. I didn't know that. Like I still will admit that I'm just a guy. I'm just another guy, but like I just do the effort and try to give everything I got. Heart and everything. So
yeah, absolutely. I mean, I found OCR after hitting not quite a rock bottom, but hitting some mental health issues. And I have never been like an athletic person. I'm very much a nerd. You'll find me playing video games all the time, all that. But now it's in more moderation. But at the time I found it, and I'm like, this is wild. So I sent to my best friend. I'm like, hey, you should try this. And he's like, I'll only do it if you do it. So we took on the Spartan race, and I just fell in love with it. And it's the sense of community and everything, right? Like running, it's very, as you described with like the first like Spartan Elite 2, it's like they run, everyone goes home. But like Spartan race, like it's like everybody you know is here, like where everyone knows your name. It's awesome, right?
There's like a bond created without even knowing each other, because everybody's got like a respect for everybody. Most, like it's like it's hard and it's fun, like it just, there's a bond created. Like when you do a normal road race, the community's still good, don't get me wrong, the running community's great, but the obstacle course racing community, it's just another level, because basically everybody's got a story that's just like, what, like I've always been amazed by the people out there. I'd be like, what, you see the people with the Dealers of Hope, those guys out there rocking, they got the wheelchairs going, and like I remember they did this one race, Indian Mud Run, and I was like, I'm running a race and I go up this big wall, it's like a cliff, and I'm like, how are they gonna get up this thing? Like they got ropes and stuff. They like just amazing,
Inspiring, absolutely.
Yeah. Yep.
So something I found interesting about your first foray into OCR is most people get their teeth kicked in for the first race. It sounded like yours went pretty well. So what kept you hungry in OCR? What made you keep coming back?
Well, I saw that I could do very well. I was like, well, if I did this good, and I was running, but like obstacle training wasn't really, like it was minimal, and it kind of came easier for me because I'd be climbing trees all the time. So like grip strength and climbing and all that stuff, like I'm like a kid climbing trees all day, basically, so like the obstacles are fun for me. Like there has been very few that have created that, oh no, I'm not going to make it. There's only been a couple obstacles throughout my whole time doing it where it was like, oh no. And, like you had that feeling, but typically I get to an obstacle and I'm like, all right, like, let's go.
Yeah, I was gonna say, there has to be like a strong correlation between like grip strength and everything as a tree surgeon or an arborist compared to like the general like office job. Like you're out there, you're out and about, and sometimes I'm sure like it's decently high stakes depending on like how the safety is with trees. So like, yeah, you have to be good at that, right?
Yeah.
Dope.
Yeah.
So being in the sport for quite a while, what have been some of your favorite experiences in the sport?
The trips that they got me, like before 2021, I didn't really go anywhere out of Florida besides going up to my grandma's house in New York. Like I would go up there annually to go cut trees down at her property and split firewood for my grandma and grandpa. And that was like the only out of state trip I've ever been doing, and then 2020 hit, right, and we didn't get to go nowhere, right? Nope. And it was like, well, this kind of sucks. I'm like, I want to go see stuff. So 2021 hit, and it was like, all right, we're in. So I did the first Spartan race, which was in Arizona, and I hitchhiked from Las Vegas to Arizona, which was like, I think it was Littlefield or Nevada or something. I can't remember exactly. It was from Nevada to Arizona, right on the edge, right? And I can't remember the name of the city. I think it was Little something, but I hitchhiked there, right? And it's like hitchhike through the Valley of Death, and it was pretty wild. Like I had getting a ride in Las Vegas hitchhiking is not easy because it's Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Are you still there?
Yeah, you're breaking up a little bit. I think it might be your connection. Yeah.
Yep. Hold on. Let me check that. We still good?
Yeah, it's better now.
Okay. So yeah, I do that. I got my tent, right? I got my little tent, and it's like this little green one, little one man, little low to the ground thing, right? So it's Friday, and I get to the venue, and I go straight up this little mountain. It was just a little thing, and I'm like, where are the trees at here? Man, there's no trees in Arizona. So like, I'm trying to find the biggest bush basically at this point, and I set my tent up, and I'm chilling and just like watching the staff down there kind of like finish their setup and stuff, and it was like cool. And then I slept up there, and I get up in the morning, and the sun rising, and it's like, and you hear the MC crank up the music for the race, right? It's early in the morning. He's cranking up the music. I'm like, it was like, perfect, like way to stretch out, like the sunrise and everything. I go down and do the race, and it was hard, it was fun. And then I can't remember if I did 2 races that day, but I hung out there all day as much as I could. And then I slept on that little hill or mountain again and did the same thing the next day. And actually in 2021, I did 5 trips just like that.
Oh, wow.
So I did Arizona. I did Utah. I did one in New York. Oh, what was the other? West Virginia. That was a good one.
Oh, yeah, okay.
That was a really cool one. And then, there was one more. But they were all epic, though. Just, like, wild. Utah was cool because it was like, I'm not even sure if like I was allowed to do this. Like I didn't like ask nobody, I just go to the race. I'd be like, all right, that was going up that way, so I just go up the mountain or whatever and just go pick a good spot. And in Utah, after the race, they got the mountain stream or whatever, right? Going down the mountain's cold water.
Yeah.
Oh, so perfect for that recovery. And like, I'm a Florida guy. So like that water was really cold, but I sat in it and I'm like, ooh-wee, and actually Utah was my first ultra race, not just Spartan, but ultra period. Like I never did the 50K, right? So I did that. And I remember like waking up in the morning for that race, and the altitude was a bit much for me. I had, I was okay, but I had like kind of like a migraine kind of thing going on.
Yeah.
So it was like, I got a picture of me at the start race or at the start line, and I'm just kind of like, you can kind of see me like, I'm like, ooh, feeling it. And it got hot that day, right? And all the guys started out fast, right? And I'm like, this is my first one. So I started out pretty fast, but not like them. Well, halfway through the race, guys are on the sideline, like cramping up and dying. And they're like, keep going, bro. I ended up getting 3rd place for that.
Nice.
In elite. And it was like, what? So kind of like built the legend from that one. It was pretty awesome.
That's pretty sick. I mean, doing these kind of things and traveling for races, it's just a good reason to have yourself an adventure, right? See the world a little bit.
Yeah, I wanted to take it in. I want to experience more than just a race. I want to experience the land that I'm going to, because I've never been.
Yeah.
And when you drive a car, like when you go from the airplane to the rental car to the race venue, you're missing a lot of smells, and sights that you just don't see, especially when you're walking. Because when you're walking, like you see everything, right? Like the plants, even for me, because I'm a tree surgeon, but I'm also like a landscape design kind of, like I love plants. So I'd be looking at plants like, I don't know what that one is. Like, I'd be taking pictures, and later on I'd find out. And like, it's one of my passions is just the plants. And it's like, I'll be looking at them like, whoa, so cool, you know, like, so like when you just drive from here A to B, you miss a lot of sights and smells. And like West Virginia, even like, it was like, what is this smell? It's kind of like a musky, moldy kind of smell, you know? It's like, because it's wet there all the time, pretty much. And it's like, okay. And West Virginia, man, the bugs were crazy, man. That was the hardest part about camping in West Virginia, the bugs. I bet. The first night I slept on like midway up the mountain, right? And I'm on this like little ledge. Like if I rolled, I would have rolled down the mountain, you know. I was like, all right, you know, like it was like in a pinch kind of thing. Like it was getting dark. I needed to set up. So I picked that spot and it was fine for that night. But the next day I raced. I did 2 beast races, right? And then I go up the mountain, higher up the mountain. And I'm like, all right, we got to get a better, you know, I already knew I needed a better spot. So I ended up right at the boxes, the obstacle, the 8-foot box where you got to jump up and get over the box, right? So I ended up there, and there's like a little campfire ring and a couple pieces of wood, like old wood though, like they've been there and it was kind of wet. And I'm like, yeah. And with the bugs and everything, like, I don't know if anybody even really knows, but I started that fire up. I had an air mattress, one of the things that you blow an air mattress up with, right? And I'm like, okay, this is some wet wood, right? So I get some little kindling, I get the wood, TP, you know, I get the TP built, and I take the air mattress blower and just, ooh, got that thing blazing. And I didn't even sleep in the tent that night because when I went back to the tent, it was kind of off a little bit under a tree. And I don't know why I always string it up to the tree, but I go back and there's like 100 spiders on my tent on the outside. And I'm like, well, I don't know about going in and out this thing. So I actually ended up sleeping on top of the box because the box was pretty close to the fire, right?
Right.
So like the Spartan Race 8-foot box and I, we got a relationship.
Yeah, you did.
That was an epic trip. Friday, June 20th, I finally have an appointment with the oncologist, and I'll have all my tests finally done. So I finally figure out where I'm at with this rectal cancer, right? So at 10 a.m. Friday, I go see, thank God I'm going to Moffitt. I got the new insurance. But after that same day, I'm getting on a plane at 4 p.m. and I'm going to Montana. And I'm doing the same thing. I don't have anything planned as far as like a rental car or a hotel. I'm going to bring my tent, and I land in Montana at 10:30 p.m. Friday night, and the race is going to start at 7 a.m. Let's go. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I heard it's beautiful there.
Yeah, I've been to Montana twice. I wish I went last year. And, you know, like right now, like, I don't know, like as far as like pain goes and stuff, sometimes it's just like I can't function at all. And I'm going to make it happen, you know, and I'm just going to pray that, you know, like the days are going to be good up there. And hopefully I'll get to link up with my cousin, which I haven't seen since I was like a little kid.
Oh,
and
cool.
he lives in Boozman. So, you know, I'm going to link up with him after probably Saturday or Sunday, and hopefully spend some time with him and his family, because I've never met his family. So, you know, like I'm really happy to like get out there and keep it moving, you know, regardless of what, you know, is going on. I got to keep showing up because it's important.
Absolutely. And I do want to get to that, you know, your diagnosis and everything in a bit too, but there were some other, I saw 3 first-place finishes in your Instagram bio.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about those experiences.
See, we got Tahoe. Ooh,
Yeah.
that was a good trip. That one is one to remember for life, for sure. So that was actually my birthday, Tahoe. Cool. So, my buddy Ben and I were basically battling head to head for the ultra, right? I don't know what ultra race, like down how many I had done. Maybe it was like ultra number 3 or 4 for me. And we're battling from the get-go, right? And like we're buddies and everything, but you know, like we're together, but we're fighting each other at the same time, right? So we get to the spear throw on the first lap. He makes it, I miss. I got to do the burpees. I love the burpees. If anybody, you know, wants to talk about, you know, oh, the burpees stay. Thank you, you know, and I miss sometimes. So don't think I make it all the time. And I'm like, oh yeah, the burpees are fine. No, I miss and got to do burpees sometimes. And that's all right with me. So I do the burpees. He gone. And my heart rate's up, right? So I pump it. I'm rocking and rolling. My heart rate, I think, to catch up, I caught up to him. I think my heart rate was like a 2 something. It was top heart rate, like ridiculous, right? Yeah. So I catch up to him, and like I'm trying to hang on with him, but by that, you know, I was pretty smoked out by then. And he kind of I fade away, and he keeps going, and he takes it, right? And he's gone again. And I'm like, man. So I'm coming in on the last lap. There's got to be like 2 miles left in the race, right? Oh, there's Ben. I see Ben. And I'm like, oh. And he was pretty whooped, right? Because he kept gassing it for the rest of that duration in front of me. You know, and I had to kind of pace it a little bit better because I had brought it up so high that, you know, it was like, all right, you know, like, all right, let's keep it kind of smooth now, Rick, right? Yeah. So I ended up, you know, meeting him on like maybe like 5 or 6 obstacles before the finish line. And I remember I'm like, come on, Ben. Like, I didn't really care about winning. It's not the win is just by showing up and doing the thing. Like, and I'm like, come on, Ben. And my buddy Noel, sweat check.
Medina.
Sweat check coach. Yeah, Noel Medina. He's like, nah, man, forget that, man. He's like, come on, man, finish that up, man. He's like, you know, I'm doing the rope climb. He's like, you needed to have that done yesterday. You know, he's on me. So he pretty much pushed me all the way to the finish, and I got first for that one. And that was really cool. Yeah. So the rest of that story is they had a trail run that night, right? And it was like what was it? I think it was just a 10K.
Okay.
So I did the 31-ish miles for the 50K, right? Almost 32, right? And then I go back to the hotel. Well, it wasn't a hotel, actually. It was like a lodge, right? It was nice. Sometimes, but that's why I would do the camp trips, right? So you do the cheap, rugged camp trips. So when you do the other trips, you can kind of like, you know, live it up a little bit, you know, spend some money on this one, you know? So do it like that. Yeah. And I get cleaned up. We go back to the venue. I got my cowboy boots and my jeans and my buckle and my hat. You know, I'm on the podium with that. And then go back to the lodge, change out, and then go run the 10K. Well, that day I turned 37. Well, I ran 37 miles.
Sweet.
So it was like that might have been my furthest distance at that point too. So it was like pretty legendary for me. And then the next day I did the Beast. And I remember Noel's like, nah, man, don't do it. And I'm like, man, we here, man. So I still did the Beast. That was a good trip. The next first place is probably going to be the Beast in Florida. And that one, I mean, like, you know, certain people didn't show up that day.
Well, you can only race who's there, man, you know?
And I showed up. So, I mean, like, when I do the Florida races, there's a few guys that I expect to show up. And if I see them, I'm like, well, you know, maybe. But, like, some guys are just so fast at running, you know. And it's like, all right, you know, I got to, like, pre-accept where I'm going to be. And it's okay, you know. So it's all right. And then I think I just got first for a sprint in Palm Beaches this year. So that would be the third elite first. So I've gotten Ultra, Beast, and Sprint. So I haven't got a first place in the Super yet. So that's kind of like a goal still. Yeah. You know, even with what I got going on, you know, like I still got some goals set up. So
yeah, and with doing such a variety of distances and everything, what's your favorite? Because there's pros and cons to the Ultra as there is to the Sprint and everything. Like
the Beast.
Yeah,
the Ultras you gotta like But people are like, well, you don't do ultras no more. I'm like, man, I don't really want to punish myself anymore. Like I've worked through a lot of things, and maybe that's just an excuse because like it is punishment out there when you do ultra. There's some times where you're like, dang. So like,
And the recovery sucks. Like you can't do anything for a bit. Yeah.
Like, yeah, you got to be real wise on that. So active recovery is definitely the best though. If like my first half marathon, which was a local half marathon here in Clearwater, I smoked that thing, man. I like 1:39 or something. Was fast for me, for the first one, right? And I got home and laid on the floor for like an hour or two. Oh man, that was a mistake. I locked up, couldn't move. It took a while to recover, like days to recover from that. So I learned then, I'm like, wait a minute, like you got to do active recovery. You got to kind of like keep the things moving, right? Or else the things just lock up.
Mm-hmm. That's a lesson my wife's learning right now. She's getting ready for her first ultra, World's Toughest Mudder, and she had a 16-mile run/walk that she did, and I'm like, you need to keep moving, and she didn't, and you lock up, and it's real bad after that.
Acid blows up and just locks you up. Yeah, it's important, even if it's just like some good stretching or something. Just you gotta keep the muscles like loose.
Yeah,
or try to. So
even walking, like it hurts, but like you got to keep it moving. Absolutely.
Go take the dog for a good walk.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then more recently, you ran and won a couple Hildervat events. So how did that race weekend go? I saw that you won the 5K, you got second in the 10K, and I think you won both trail races.
Yeah, that was a cool weekend. That was cool. I did the 10K trail before I did the 10K obstacle course race.
Okay.
So I went out that was Sunday. I go out for the 10K trail at 7 a.m. and I got to finish that thing because the 10K obstacle course race was at 8 a.m., right? So I got an hour to do this 10K trail. And then like, luckily I like ran to the porta potty, tried to handle business. It's really not pretty these days. And, I know Dan, the race director, kind of like, he kind of like dragged out the start of the 10K obstacle course race because he knew I was in the bathroom, right? So he's like, they're doing the national anthem, they're doing like some praying and stuff, and I hear him, and I'm like, I'm coming, man, I'm coming. So I did pretty speedy wheels on the 10K trail before the 10K obstacle course race, and I felt it during the 10K obstacle course race. I was like, yeah, about like closer to the end, last 2 miles, I was like, yeah, but it's all right. Like the guy that took first place, he's a great athlete too. So it was really cool to be chasing him,
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I was hoping he was going to miss one of the axe throws. I'm like, if he going to miss one of the axe throws, and then I ended up missing one of the axe throws. And I'm like, man, that's how it goes.
Yeah. Now, so I saw that there's obviously 5K, 10K trail race and OCR. Was it the same course, just you skipped the obstacles, or was it a different course entirely?
Yeah, it's the same course. You just go by the obstacles.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's smart. Makes sense.
They got the same like loop set up. It's set up nice.
Yeah.
It's real nice. They just started rocking it this year. Just, I think it's like this coming up weekend is going to be the 4th event, I believe, that they've done this year. And they got it set up good now. And they're only just going to keep improving it. So
good.
It's nice to see Hildervat back because originally they were located at Daytona Beach, I believe.
Right.
And that was sick on the beach. But, like now they got their spot. They got the land set up. It's nice. Yeah. It is nice.
We used to have a beach race by us years ago, and just the logistics were just too impossible to like rent out the beach essentially. And it just was something that couldn't last anymore. So it was impressive to see Hildervat, their first event, the beach and having a big prize pool to have elites come from all over. Like everybody who followed OCR knew Hildervat. Obviously that's not something that's sustainable. So how is it now? I heard they got themselves like a more permanent venue and everything now.
Yeah. So they got land. It's at, Ironwood Forest is the name that they've dubbed it as. It's their spot pretty much. So they got all their obstacles that stay there basically, and they just keep adding more stuff and doing these little changes and stuff. And if you do like the beach, St. Augustine Beach, which is super beautiful, it's just a few minutes away from that race.
Cool.
So I mean, like, you don't have to just come up and do the race and go home. You can come up, do the race, and then go enjoy some of that beach over there. It's pretty nice.
Nice.
So,
Now, in terms of it being like a permanent venue, is it also like a permanent course? Like the obstacles built there to stay year round, or
they're moving things around,
okay,
but they're there. You know what I mean? Like, so the way they have it set up is that you start and then you basically run off into the woods and you go run off into the trail, and there might be like a hurdle or something in the trails, but when you come back to the center, that's where the main obstacles are. Okay. So like you'll come back to the center, you'll do like one or two obstacles, and then you hit another trail that goes a different way. Gotcha. And then you'll come back to the center again, and you do some more obstacles, and then you run down a different trail and you come back. So basically they got it set up to where the spectators can see the athletes doing the obstacles, which I think is a great idea because, it's not only helps the athletes, but it's cool for the spectators, because myself, I'm a spectator as well. And like, it's nice to be able to just kind of like walk a few feet and be like, oh, they're going to be at this one next. So, you could be right there cheering them, getting videos. It's a good setup.
Good. Yeah, most OCRs are notoriously not spectator friendly. I think of Killington, like, all right, go watch me do the Killington Beast. See you in hours, like
see me hit the last frig and the fire jump, and then that's basically the wrap on that, right?
Yeah. No, that's a good system. It's very similar to, we have a course up by us, 4 hours away, called Obstacle Wonderland, which is very similar. Like, you're in the woods, you come back.
Walk Hill.
Yeah.
I know, Gabe. I did that one in 2021.
Oh, cool. Good guy.
They did like a Viking. It was with
Gabe. No, not Gabe. Gabe and Asa. Asa Coddington.
Yep.
OCR Yoda.
Yep. Yeah. So they did that one. It was an overnight race.
Sweet.
And that was actually, I think that was right after I did Utah in 2021. So that was like the beginning of like my ultra running and like the night, the whole like, whoa.
Yeah.
Super cool. Yeah.
That's great. So OCR's changed a lot over the years. And I had always said that I think the future of OCR is these more permanent courses, because the overhead is much less compared to like moving the obstacles. And it's just ridiculous. I don't know how Spartan still does it. Well, by not paying people, I guess that's one of the ways.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not cheap for them to do that. They got to rent the venues. They got to transport the stuff. There's a lot to go.
Insurance and all that. Yeah.
So there's a lot.
So what does Hildervat look like now? Like, what's the turnout? Does it feel healthy? Obviously, for like a smaller scale than Spartan.
It's growing. It's growing for sure. I feel like they're still kind of like playing with like the distances, and they're trying to figure out what people want. Because that's what they want. They want to give us what we want. They do. Because they want people to show up. So they're willing to make little adjustments and changes. And like, I think the last race last month was a feeler. Like, they were trying to feel out like, like who's coming. And, so mainly everybody showed up for the obstacle course race. Right. And then there was some people for the trail races, but, like, everybody wants to do the obstacles because they're like, well, I don't want to just do the trail, which is cool. It's cool. But,
But it could be a good feeder system too, right? Like, oh, I'll just do the trail. And then you're running past all these like cool obstacles. Like, yeah, I think I could do that.
Maybe,
well, yeah,
maybe.
We'll see you next year. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I think that's smart. And I interviewed him, I want to say 2 or 3 years ago too. And he seems like a genuine guy, like loves the community. Yep. Dan Woods, I think, right? Yeah. And so I'm glad to hear that things are going well, because some people, it's a lot of negativity. I'm not sure if you're aware of this. There's a lot of negativity out there, and people are like, oh, Hildervat's nothing anymore. It doesn't have the elites. Like, no, we need to like build these communities up, because we need, even if it's like a feeder system, like just get more people in the sport. We need that to keep it healthy.
Yeah, I don't understand why people like do the trash talk thing and stuff. It's just, I mean, it's whatever.
It's like they shoot themselves in the leg.
That's their forte. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And like I've learned through life that that's just, it's not even, why you put energy out like that. There's no point. The return's not good.
Yeah, absolutely. Which is all the more reason why, like, I wanted to have you on to talk about it too, because I think they're doing. I know that they're doing great things down there. I see the videos. I see, people excited to go to those races, and like that's what we need more of. So there's no sense in stifling that whatsoever.
Yeah, and they're paying out too.
Sweet. Yeah, to talk to me a little bit about that too.
First place $300, second place $200, third place $100. You get paid right there. There ain't no waiting. They hand you a check, or he'll gonna Venmo to you or Zelle it to you, whatever. Yeah. Right there.
And that's a race director that cares about the athletes.
Yeah, he's like, oh, y'all get paid right now. So yeah, man. Yeah, and even though they're not like big enough even really to like be doing that, almost in a sense, they're still doing it because they're rocking and rolling. They're not playing around.
Yeah, they're investing in the community. Yeah. I think that's a smart way to go about things. There were a couple events that I was unclear about. What were the team events? I saw that there was like a 5K team event, 10K team event. Do you know how that? Yeah, do you know how that worked?
I didn't do those.
Okay, I just saw them in the podiums, and I'm like, I didn't know.
Oh no, the teams. So the teams are like I race for Lionhearts Fitness, and that's the team that I race for. And then like we'll have other teams out there like the Mid OCR, or like other teams that basically they represent. So if my team wins the most podiums or whatever, then we win the overall of that.
Gotcha.
But there's no actual like team racing kind of thing. It's just whatever team that you represent, wherever y'all place, that's where you place at. So it's just another way to kind of like acknowledge that, like we're not just the individual racers, but we're also out here racing for like our team,
Yeah. I think that's a perfect time to transition. So tell me more about Lionhearts Fitness. I just had the pleasure to meet Shell. She came up for the New England OCR Expo. I met her and her son, just as awesome as I expected. How long have you been involved with them?
Probably since 2022. And yeah, because I think I might have ran into Shell 2021, maybe not, but pretty much when Shell and I met, it was pretty much like on from there, right? Because her and I clicked right away. And Shell is amazing, and she's had her own health battles herself, and like she's been told like you got 2 weeks to live kind of things.
Oh, wow.
And she would still be at the races, like she ain't giving up, And we did a fun lap together in Florida. I think it might have been Jacksonville, but we did a 5K together, and she wasn't even in good health then, but we still went out and did the thing, and we had a great time. But Shell is amazing, and what she does for those kids, I mean, like there's nobody else doing what she does, and she really doesn't get enough recognition for what she does.
Yeah,
because I mean, like I be telling you, like empowering that next generation is important, because I mean, you look at the way, the direction that the generations are going, and it's like, well, we need to make sure these kids got some good character traits, like we need to make sure they're strong and
resilient,
and they got the good morale and the good morals and all that, like, so they don't just do the races, they also do community service. They go give to the needy. They do like gardening classes, fishing trips, art stuff, just all kinds of extracurricular stuff that helps build that good person, because like we keep them busy, when your hands go idle, start doing the devil's work, you know what I mean? So we keep them going, and it just empowers them, and it shows them how strong they are and that they are capable. And I'm definitely 100% back Lionhearts Fitness every day, all day, no problem.
Yeah. When I think of people that are like proudly and loudly supporting them, I think of you. I think of Scott the Fiend Knowles. This is how I first found out about him. He's very vocal on his show about it. I think of Noel Medina. And then like Rachel Waters has been very vocal. I know she did her like 100-mile like craziness on the course there, like and that did wonders, I think, for bringing attention to it too. But I feel like it's never enough. She seems like she's doing a lot of really good stuff. I heard there might be like a documentary in the works, but they're constantly doing stuff. How rewarding is it to like help out with a group like that?
It's very rewarding. And I went to the Lionhearts Fitness Training Center, and those kids, they obliterated me on them obstacles. I was like, let me try this out. And like, I didn't even make it a quarter of the way through this one line of obstacles that they had. And then the rest of these kids was just swanging on through. And I'm like, they're like, Chainsaw didn't get it. I got it. I'm like, y'all are awesome.
That's awesome.
Keep it up. I'm like, what? Okay. I got work to do.
and it's great for both the future of the sport, which is important, but also their futures first and foremost. And I think that from what I've heard, Shell does a good job of like, that's what matters most is like, this is for the kids, you know, it's healthy for the sport. That's a side thing. It's great, but like, it's for the kids, and it seems like it does wonders. So I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah. I wish I was a Lionhearts when I was a kid, you know, like I said, I was skating around town causing trouble. So, you know, didn't have the direction that I probably could have used.
Fair. And then taking a little bit of a turn. So tell me about the process of the whole, like, getting a diagnosis. Like, had this been plaguing you for a while? What was this whole situation like for you?
A few people are like, oh, they're like, you just now found out, you know, but it didn't just start. Like, this is something that's been kind of like lingering for months now. And I really started to notice it before OCRWC in October last year, where I was like, something ain't right, you know? And I thought it was my gut for a while. So I'm like taking this gut stuff, and like it started helping, but it wasn't like treating the actual problem, right? And my fitness just started declining so bad. And then basically when I couldn't sleep more than an hour and a half a night, I'd wake up in pain and I'd be on the floor basically crying, you know. And it takes a lot. I mean, I'm not the toughest guy, but you know, for me to be down on the floor moaning and crying because I'm in pain, you know, is like, all right, something ain't right here. So I go to the gastroenterologist, and he's like, you're only 40. He's like, and you're healthy. And like, they're like, everything's good. We did some blood work. Everything looked good is what they said. So then he put me on laxatives, and then I did a follow-up in 6 weeks. And let me tell you about them laxatives, though. In Atlanta, right before the Super, like 10 minutes before the Super, oh no, I had the craziest blowout. I don't want to go into detail, but I cleaned myself up, and I go do the race, and I don't know if I got first place, but I podiumed, and it was just, it was tough. But being on course and like seeing guys pass me that would typically never have passed me, I'm not saying that I'm like the man or nothing, but it's like, hey, wait a minute, like, hold on now. And then so I finally go back to the guy, and I'm like, bro, we got to run this thing, right? So I need to do the colonoscopy. And he's like, okay. So we do the colonoscopy, and before I go under anesthesia, the anesthesiologist is like, your heart rate's at 37. And they're like, the nurses are like, they're like, you all right? And I'm like, I'm an athlete. And they're like, oh, they're like, damn, boy, you know. I'm like, yeah, you know. And so we do the colonoscopy. He doesn't do an aggressive enough biopsy, so the results came back inconclusive, right? So 3 days later, got to do another one. Okay, well, sucks I got crappy insurance, because now I'm finding out that I got to pay for the anesthesiologist and all this stuff. And both times it was like $4,000 each time. So like right now I'm like 11 or 12 G's in for basically out of my pocket, right, for the health stuff. And it's like, and I go do this MRI thing, and like the copay was like $750. I'm like, damn, man, this is not working out. And then that's when I did the fundraiser for me, because and Shell put that together for me, and I was just like, can you help? And she did, and she got right on that. And she was actually like, I was like, we can put it up next Tuesday. And she's like, nah, today. And it was like Thursday or Friday. She's like, we got to get it going. And I'm like, okay. So we did that, and thank God, because that's been a huge help, you know. And so at the MRI, right, like they're supposed to put something up my rear and do a contrast with put fluid in there and color or something, right? Well, they attempted that, and in the attempt, they definitely did some more damage to what's going on there. I told them, I was like, look, y'all gonna have a hard time doing this, because like this ain't no joke, you know. Like, if I could put it in a context for anybody, like trying to have a bowel movement, a coffee stirrer straw, and that's where I'm at right now. It's like, imagine trying to poop through a coffee stirrer straw. So that's like what it's like for me, you know. And add the pain, and then there's blood, and it's not pretty at all, right? So MRI, whatever. We didn't even get what we needed. We still got the MRI, but we didn't get that. I was supposed to have a PET scan the 30th of last month, and I was gonna do it, but I canceled it because my old insurance again. And I come to find out that was gonna be another $4,000 on top of that bill, and I'm like, luckily, Petra from obstacle course racing, she's at the Hildervat, right?
Okay.
She talks to me, and she's like, hey, my husband's a health insurance agent. Linked up with him as soon as possible, right? And he's like, all right, this is the one you want. He's like, it's going to be like $900 a month. He's like, do you want to think about it? And I'm like, pull the trigger, bro. So right then, right there, we got that linked in. And I did have an appointment for an oncologist the next week, but we didn't do the test. So I canceled that too. So now I'm waiting until June 11th, which is Wednesday, to do the PET scan. And then I go June 20th to Moffitt. And that's where I wanted to go originally, because it's Moffitt Cancer Center, right? Because who's been seeing me before is Baycare Medical Group. And like, I'm not like, I feel like they just don't really care. Honestly, they're like, look, when they told me they wanted to remove my anus completely and put me on a colostomy bag, which I've gotten several of those diagnoses or prognoses, and I'm like, look, man, like I'm just not ready to accept that. This, like I said, this has been going on for a while, and it sucks, and it doesn't seem to be getting any better, but I'm not there yet. So I go to Moffitt June 20th, and hopefully, like, you know, I'm going to be like, look, what are the options here? Because don't give me this one option, okay? Don't just give me that option. What are the other options? And I feel like Moffitt's going to be good for that. So, yeah. And I don't know how it's going to affect me as far as, like, my mental state that Friday. But like I said, I'm hopping on the plane right after basically that, and I'm going to Montana. So I'm gonna take it in, man, you know?
Yeah. Rewinding a little bit, just in case there's someone listening that maybe this could help too. Like, what were early symptoms?
The first signs.
Yeah.
A pinstripe of red in my bowel movement.
Okay.
Just like a line of red. That was the first sign, for sure.
Yeah.
Yep. Just like a line, and then like, you know, like you have like a good bowel movement, right? Like a log, I could say that, you know, like good. Like I've always appreciated that even before this, but it changed. It changed to like, you know, when you were a kid and you were doing the Play-Doh thing, and like you had the shapes, right?
Yeah.
The shapes like different now. It's like a triangle or something, or now it's like a flat thing, and it's like the shapes.
Okay.
The shape changed. So it's like it wasn't a log anymore. It was like, what the hell is that? Is that a slug in there now with the pinstripe of red? You know what I'm saying? Like that shape and then that pinstripe. Those are the cues right there. Yeah, if I could tell anybody, that would be the, hey man, go see the guy and get that colonoscopy, you know, go do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, like, I'm like, well, how come me? You know, like, why me? You know, like, I mean, like, I might have not ate that great last year, but I mean, like, why me like that? I'm like, I'm pretty fit. I'm fit. I be doing stuff. I'm like, how come me? And like, how come I see these other people and they're not in shape and they're sedentary and they damn sure ain't eating good? And I'm like, and I'm only 40, you know? And it's like, I don't think it was just food. I mean, like, I've dealt with a lot of chemicals over the years as far as like doing lawn maintenance and stuff. So, you know, we could throw that Roundup in there, glyphosate, and even past that, because like I deal with pesticides and fertilizers and stuff like that, and even down to just painting. You know, like if you're like painting stuff and you're not protecting yourself, like just those environmental factors can probably really play a role in it all. So perhaps it was like those chemicals that may have like turned it on, and then I fed it with some crappy food and it just blew up. That's kind of like my theory right now.
It's gonna be tough mentally, as you said too, because like the whole like life isn't fair, but it's tough. Like so my mom smoked a lot. I had like asthma growing up because she smoked so much, and I love my mom, but like objectively, I see it as like, okay, if someone gets lung cancer, it would make more sense for her than someone that's never smoked. But unfortunately, that's not the way things are too. So like, how has it been mentally dealing? Because like you said, like you're fucking fit, and you know, some too many hamburgers and stuff like that. But like the chemicals, I guess maybe. But like, what goes through your head with that?
I got my moments, you know. It's like they're like, stay positive and stay strong, but like if you were using the bathroom like I be using the bathroom and it's not fun, like it's wearing. And then like last night I got like an hour and a half of sleep because, you know, like I just the whole, like, I don't even want to go into it, but it's like, you know, like if I got gas, it's not just gas, it's other things going on too. Like, so yesterday I think I went through 9 pairs of underwear.
Wow.
You know, and it's like that can break a man down, you know. It can. It's like, damn, like, good thing I bought more underwear though.
Right.
But I'm tired of doing that, and like it can wear you down. You know, people are like, you gotta stay strong. I'm like, I'm staying strong, but man, it's like you don't wanna. I don't even want you to wear these shoes I'm wearing right now, man, because like if I had an enemy, I wouldn't wish this upon them.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. And speaking of like being worn down too, I'm gonna try. I don't want to rant about the healthcare system in this country, but I mean that's a factor, man. It's so sad. Like it shouldn't. There shouldn't be this on top of everything else that you're going through.
Such a scam too, man. Like
wicked.
Well, I thought I had pretty good insurance, and like my previous health insurance agent was like, "Yeah, you good," you know, like, and then they all of a sudden they're trying to drop me and they're not covering things, and I'm like, well, what the hell is this, you know? Yeah. And then like I go see the first doctor and he just shoots me straight the worst news ever without like all the tests we hadn't even done yet. And I'm like, okay, maybe you've been doing this for a long time, but you don't know. I'm Chainsaw Rick, man. Like, I'm not that other person that you already dealt with, okay? I'm not him. You got me mistaken for somebody else, okay? Because like I ain't giving up. Nah, it might be like this, but I'm gonna stay. You know, I'm gonna stay on that. Like, nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
You put out a video that I thought was like very inspirational. Just like you just going through some of your thoughts and, you know, was it this? Was it that? Like, you just be damn sure that like cancer is going to be in for the fight, you know, like I think you have a really good head. I don't know how it's something that like selfishly, I look at that and I think like, how would I react? Like, I would like to think that I'm, you know, as tough as you, but like it's
the wheel of grief. You know, you got those 5 emotions in that grief wheel, right? And it's like, you keep circling through it. And I've dealt with grief before because of the loss of my son, right? So like, I know about that wheel. And like, some people will tell you, oh, it takes time and stuff. But like, the grief is always like, it's always just a circle. And when you're dealing with it, like a health crisis, it's a loud circle, like, you know, and it's like, yeah, the pain hits you and you're like, you know, like you still got the fight in you, but you're like, dang, man, like the other things are running through your mind too. Like you're sad, you're mad, you're depressed, you know, you got all them things going on. You come around to acceptance, but you got to keep going back to the, nah, I'm going to keep fighting, you know. It's like, so try to stay on top of the I'm not giving up and I'm going to beat this, you know. That's the positivity that I can give, is that like, it's not like everything's going to be all right. No, it ain't like that. It's like, no, I'm going to beat this. I don't know what it looks like yet, but I'm going to keep fighting and I got to win. And there's no other option here, you know?
Yeah.
So.
And then what was it like getting the news, and then in turn, because like you're a beloved member of the community, taking that news and like telling other people about that? Like, what was that
embarrassing? Like? Felt so embarrassing. Like, just, that was hard for me to share, you know, and that's the one word I could say is just very embarrassed, but I guess I shouldn't be, you know, like.
Shouldn't be, no.
It could happen to anybody. It happened to me, you know, and like, I'm like, man, you know, like, so there's some like blame I feel on myself a lot. Like, I'm like, should have done better this thing, or should have done, you know, like, shouldn't have done that. Like, you know, but I mean, really in all, like, I wasn't really that bad. I mean, having a little ice cream after dinner shouldn't kill me, right? You know, right. Like, if I could give you advice, I'd say make your own damn ice cream at home if you want ice cream, though. And if you want anything, just, you got to make it at home, because that's what I'm learning now. Because even when I go to like Sprouts and stuff, I got to look at the things and I'm like, oh, they got this crap in here. I'm like, oh, look at this. And it's like, you can't even find stuff that you can eat that doesn't have stuff that you shouldn't have, you know?
That's actually brings me to a conversation I was having in the OCR report group text. We talk about a variety of things, but the choice of like food. We have Fran Curando who lives in England and talks about how like there's choices, but sometimes it's like the illusion of choice. Like there's a lot of like, when your choice is garbage, yeah, you're choosing, but like you're still
garbage
stacked against you. It really is.
Yeah. And you know, like cheap and fast, you pay for cheap and fast, you know, later. So it's like, even like I gotta get like good produce, which is more expensive. And if I'm getting salmon, it's gotta be like the wild caught. That's the most expensive salmon, you know. And you taste the difference though, you know, like, and it's hard to even shop at even the good stores because they still have crap there. You know, like Sprouts, they still got sour gummy worms there, the neon colored ones and stuff. And I'm like, man, they got the dye in them, man. Like, and when your gut is your second brain, right, and you got like cancer around in there, like it knows that's fuel, right? So your gut's like, oh, go get it, dude, go get it. You can't go do that. You know you can't. Go get it, dude. Oh man, you might fall. You might falter. You know, you catch yourself, but you might falter a little bit. So like in the cupboards right now, just like I'll go look in the cupboard and be like, man, there's no real good snacks in here. You know, like what am I eating here? Okay, I'm gonna have some celery with some almond butter on it. You know, like. You know, can't really do the ants on a log because the raisins got too much sugar, right? So then like, okay, like you can get cranberries with no sugar added, but they don't taste like the cranberries that we used to, right? The dry cranberries is like, now you got these ones with no sugar and you're like, bleh. It's not the same, man. Yeah. It's not the same. And salads, I mean, like, they're great. Like I had a salad today for lunch, no meat, no tofu. Just a good mix of salad with the cucumbers and the mushrooms and the little sweet peppers and like a couple slices of apple and carrots, you know, just full good stuff. But that only like only gives you so much. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're still hungry. You're still hungry. You eat the salad and you're like, all right, that's what we had today. I'll be starving. An hour later, I'm starving, and that creates a problem too, because when I'm out in the field, out about, in the world, right, and I'm starving and home's a little far away, it's like, okay, where can I go to eat? Like, I can't go anywhere. I have to go home. I have to. I'm like, okay, it's like, so you always got to be at least one step ahead of it. So like when I come home, like I got food prepared at home already.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like it might not be what I want, but it's ready, and I can go and I can just smash another salad or whatever. Like today I had quinoa and salmon and rainbow chard for dinner. And I mean, like, thank God I had that ready, because I mean, if I didn't have that at home ready, I probably would have slid through the damn Greek city and got me a gyro and fries, like I would love to, like, hey man, I can't have no gyro and fries. I didn't drink soda. I didn't drink soda before, like, but lemonade with sugar in it, and the lemonade from the fountain drink ain't good lemonade. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's got some crap in it, and then like last year for the work, I was getting Gatorades. And I knew they weren't good for me, but you go to the store and it's like, gas station, what do you got?
Yeah.
You got three Gatorades for $5 or something, right? Okay. Well, I'm going to get 3 Gatorades. And before you know it, I'm stopping at the store again for lunch. And I'm like, 3 more Gatorades and a pizza, slice of pizza, and like you look at the ingredients for like the breakfast sandwich, the pizza, and the burger at the gas station, and the ingredients is like,
it's like
you look at it, you're like, whoa, yeah, it's an essay. And you're like, whoa, it should be like beef and a fucking bun, like the wheat and that stuff, but not like the 8s and the ides. You start seeing 8s and ides and stuff that's hard to pronounce.
Yeah.
You're in trouble. You know it. And over years of that, we get programmed to just, that's what we crave.
Yeah.
And it's hard to break that. It's hard to break the cravings because we're so used to it and it tastes so good to us. And then eventually, like, you stay to the due diligence and you stay disciplined, you prepare the meals, and eventually you don't crave that stuff anymore. And you're like, you start craving the better stuff.
Yeah.
But still to this day, like, my chocolate is certainly my weakness. So like at Sprouts, they got everything chocolate covered, right? And then like the caramel things, and like they got like the chocolate toffee things, and like I don't know if you've ever heard of sponge candy.
No.
My God, oh boy, if I was Superman, that would be kryptonite, man. Yeah, my nieces and my mother are in New York right now, and New York's pretty famous for the sponge candy, right? And I'm like, I told her, I'm like, you better get some sponge candy. And she's like, I got 4 bags of it. I'm like, don't be bringing that shit around me. Excuse the language. I'm like, don't bring it around me. You better eat all that up and don't bring it over here.
Yeah.
But like they sell that at Sprouts too. They sell that specific candy at Sprouts. And I'm like, I can't go down them little aisles.
Yeah.
I can't. I gotta like do a big circle around them things, like, don't look that way, Rick. Don't even look. So it's hard to break it.
I'm sure. Do you also have to like monitor like fiber intake too? Because I'm sure that's a factor with what you're going through.
Yeah, I have to take like Thalia and licorice and a couple other things to help like with my flow.
Yeah.
Because like even with like a good fiber like in my diet, it's just not enough, like so. But I would definitely say that in the American diet, we don't get enough fiber.
No,
we don't, especially like you see the guys that are like, just eat steak. And I'm like, well, bro, you're clogging yourself up though, man. Like,
yeah.
Like if my body's a temple and I'm just throwing meat in there and the meat's just getting rotten in there, like, that's not good for the temple, man,
No.
So like there's gotta be some flow, so yeah, we definitely don't get enough fiber in the American diet.
No, that's
like
frustrating.
people be like, what's that? You know, like we got to look it up, right? Like, how do we get fiber? You know? So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Going back to the community, how did it feel to get the response that you got?
What? Oh, wow. Like, I'm still flabbergasted. Like, it's just amazing. And it makes me feel really good that people would support me so much. And it makes me feel like I've done something right in this life, as far as like being a person and being like good to other people, you know, like,
right.
So I'm like, does being nice really pay? And well, here you go. The dividends are larger than anything else, I feel like. So yeah, stopping and taking some moments to talk to some new racers or some friends, and just like opening my heart and, you know, just being genuine and nice. It does pay.
Yeah.
It does pay to be nice. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad to hear that. And then, so the two big things that I've been aware of that the community has done for you is that Hildervat is seemingly doing an event in your name. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah. So they're doing a donation on their sign up. So when you go to sign up, you can also donate to my medical funds. So they're just trying to help me out and get the word out there. They know I'm showing up. So like, you know, if people want to come race with me or come see me, and they can come see me at the Hildervat race, because who knows how many days I got left. You know, I'm not saying that the towel's getting thrown in, but I don't know what the future's holding for me. So like, and I'm already excited because I've had quite a few people contact me that I've never met in person, but I know them on Instagram, right? And they're like, I'm coming. And like, I'm like, what? I'm like, all right, we finally gonna meet. Okay.
That's cool. That's cool.
So coming up after that, I have something big coming up for West Virginia, the Spartan Trifecta World Championship weekend.
Yep.
Last year I did a huge giveaway for the OCRWC. I did like a huge dream trip giveaway. This year I'm doing something for West Virginia, but I'm not giving it away this year. It's going to be an earned gift from me. So that's going to be coming out pretty soon. I'm pretty excited about that. Yeah, that's going to be something that's never been done before by anybody. This is all a whole new format, and I can't wait for people to jump in on this and see what's going on and get involved in this, because it's going to be, like I said, it's going to be an earned trip, and we're not just going to do the races. I'm not only going to pay for your 3 races during that weekend, and I'm not only going to throw you some money for food and throw you money for some flights, and it's going to be more than that. We're going to do some special stuff that includes the West Virginia scenes, right? Like, so there's a couple things that you can do in West Virginia, especially that time of year. Maybe give you a little hint about some whitewater rafting. If you know about the New River Gorge Bridge, you can walk under the New River Gorge Bridge on the scaffolding under the bridge, which is about 900 feet above the river. And that's something that's going to be included in the trip. And then there's also a local spot called Pirates Cove where we're going to go, and you may or may not cliff jump. And so like, yeah, that's going to be huge. A buddy of mine from high school contacted me. He lives in Hawaii, and he's like, hey man, you coming out this year? If you need a place to stay, or you can borrow my car. And I'm like, if I'm coming, you're going to do the race with me. He never did a Spartan race. So not only is he signing up, is he going to join in for the race, but he's getting some friends to join in the race. And then we're going to do something in honor of Lionhearts Fitness. And I'll get all those details out there, with stuff still in the works, for that. It's coming up quick, but that's going to be really cool. And then I think Spartan Race might do something else for me towards the end of the year. We'll see how it goes, though. Like, I can't guarantee anything, But
Right. Yeah. I mean, be sure to send the details when you have them, and we'll give a shout out in our quick news segment. But it's good to hear.
Still doing things for the community, even though I'm fighting this battle. I'm still doing what I would be doing anyway, and maybe I'm doing more because I'm like, well, I don't know what's going on for the future, so let's get it, let's do this. So
Yeah. What's the date for the Hildervat event? Just so people
this
are aware.
weekend? No, it's not this weekend. Yeah, it is.
Oh wow. Okay.
It's the 14th and 15th.
Okay. There's still time. Buy your tickets and get there.
Yeah.
And then
And like I said, if you want to go to the beach, you don't just got to make a trip to do the Hildervat race, but you can take in that side of Florida, and the beaches are beautiful over there in St. Augustine. It's beautiful. So.
Yeah, that sounds great. And then the whole shout out to Lionhearts Fitness for putting together that fundraiser for you too.
Yeah, I mean, beyond grateful and forever in debt. But like Shell is an amazing person, and she did that the drop of a hat. She was like, and I'm like, I don't even know how you do this stuff. And people will contact me and be like, well, I don't want to give to a GoFundMe. And I'm like, it's not a GoFundMe. It's created by Lionhearts Fitness. Lionhearts Fitness is a 501c charity. It's the platinum level. It takes years to get to that level. It's the top tier level of charities. And because I'm a team member, I'm a pro team member of Lionhearts Fitness, all that money comes to me tax free. So nobody's getting any of that except for me. So for the people that contact me and they're like, can I sell you or Venmo you money? Yes, you can still do that. But you can also just do the donation because I'll still receive all of those funds.
Good. I'm glad that you specified that too, because some people, you're right, they get a little cagey. There's so many things going on right now, and even with like the best of intentions, sometimes stuff happens with money.
Yep.
Absolutely. So how has this kind of changed your life moving forward now? Like what are your thoughts?
I mean, I've already appreciated life, and I've had such good attitude towards the other people that race. Like they've always inspired me. Like even just the open racers that come out, I'm always inspired by them. They're like, you're badass. I'm like, you badass too, man. You came and you got it. Let's go. I've always been on a good perspective as far as like just appreciating life. But I feel like I appreciate every moment a bit more now. Especially when I'm not in pain, when like it's rare, but when I'm just like, oh, okay, not dying right now. It's like, just like sitting out here right now, the wind's blowing a little bit and I feel the breeze and I'm just like, just appreciate every little thing.
Yeah.
So
I think a lot of people could take something from that for sure. Starting to come to a close, who are some people that you'd like to thank?
I'd like to thank my girlfriend, Jan, for being by my side. She's the one that hears me in the bathroom and hears me on the floor crying. And when it's bad, I kick my dog out of his bed and I curl up on his bed because I'm not trying to lay next to Jan and disturb her rest. So sorry, buddy. He gets a little frustrated about that. I'm like, your bed's right by the bathroom though, dog. I mean, like, I need that. Shell, I don't know. Like, she's done a lot for me, even besides the fundraiser. We got a lot of things going and she's keeping me busy, and it maybe it's not a distraction, but it's like a goal and like a objective for me, and it keeps me in forward motion. And then for everybody that's just reached out to me, and just supported me, like I've had people reach out to me and be like, Rick, you're so awesome, like I would have never made it through Give and Take without you. And I'm like, huh? And, they explain, and it's just like I never even thought about it like that. I was always just there to help encourage people, maybe give them some tips, because I just love to do that. It's good, and the returns on those investments is just phenomenal. It's just like, wow. So Like, thank you everybody for being here for me and for just supporting me, because I've had some rough days, and like, honestly, like, yeah, I got my immediate family, but I really don't think that would be enough, honestly, because I mean, like, having so many people just reach out to me and talk to me, and like, it's good to be talking. It's all good vibes, and it's helping for sure. Huge help. Keep me in line.
Yeah. And then you mentioned a few events, but like, what do you have planned for the rest of the year in terms of events now?
For races?
Yes. Sorry. Yeah.
So I got Montana coming up this month. I got Hawaii already in the books, which is going to be gnarly. I don't know how I'm going to be feeling and where I'll be at as far as treatment goes, but it's in the books. In between that and West Virginia's, I don't know. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to throw something in there. So it'll probably be a Spartan race. And then if Hildervat keeps putting on these races, then I'll probably keep going to their races as well, because it's like a 3-hour drive for me. But I mean, like, it helps me to get out and do stuff, because right now, like, going for a run by myself, like, I'm doing them, but it's very seldom. Like, it's not like before, because it's hard, it's hard. The pain's like, it turned me around some days, like, and some days I got the lake right by my house, and it's got the 1 kilometer loop, and I'll go run that. But like, if I have like a bathroom issue kind of thing going on, then I'll boogie on back home. Right. So it's like, it's difficult to train right now. It is.
Valid. Well, I hope to see you at West Virginia. I've never gone to the course there, but I want to go.
Are you going?
I plan to cover the Trifecta World Championships. Gonna meet a whole bunch of awesome people I've never met. I'd love to meet you there as well. So
what a great state. Yeah, you're gonna love it. I hope to see you.
Yeah, I've heard great things about it. And then wrapping up, where can people follow you on social media? I will link the donation page and all that stuff, but where can people follow you on social media?
Chainsaw_Rick, Instagram.
Yeah.
I'm on Facebook as Richard Shin, but I am not as active on Facebook. So if you really want to like link up with me, you got to find me on Instagram, because that's where I'm at.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to come on. Really glad I got the chance to talk to you again. I've been aware of you for a while, and so I'm like, kind of have you on the show, and wishing you the best. And I look excited to see you in person in West Virginia, man.
Let's go. Thank you very much.
Welcome back.
Thank you, Chainsaw Rick.
Yelling?
You were just as awesome to talk to as I expected. Very excited to meet you at West Virginia. 4 related episodes. I think the only one somewhat related would be episode 218, Hildervat with race founder Dan Woods. That was quite a bit back, and I guess we haven't done an episode on Hildervat in a while, so this was overdue.
Subscribe and follow wherever you get your podcasts. We are Obstacle Running Adventures and all of the podcast players, and leave us a review.
Yeah. You could follow us on Instagram, and you can like us on Facebook, but Instagram is where we post everything. Facebook just kind of gets things shoved over there, and I kind of stopped checking the requests. Not the requests, the notifications, because it notifies me of like a lot of stuff I don't care about on Facebook. No offense. So Instagram's the main place for sure. Coming up next, I am recording a World's Toughest Mudder themed episode on Friday.
Ooh.
With 2 European guests I'm very excited for. So that is the plan for that one. And then we have one more episode to do before we're at World's Toughest Mudder, which is wild to think of.
That makes me want to poop myself.
Mm-hmm.
And not in the neurovirus kind of way.
Yeah, then got a joke or a quote other than that, I guess.
Did you not like that joke? Okay, my quote is from Mark Groves. It says, "You can't expect your life to be perfect. You never lived this life before. You will F up. You will say the wrong thing. You'll make bad decisions in life, work, and relationships. You'll be both the worst version of yourself in moments and the best in others. The point of life isn't to be perfect. It is to be a great student."
Nice. What do you have for a joke?
My joke is, what do you call a drawer you have to slam over and over to close?
A revolving door. I don't know.
A total shut show.
That's actually pretty good. All right, well, that just wraps it up. My name is Michael Stefano.
And my name is Caitlin Ritter.
We will talk to you next weekend.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening.
We hope you're feeling motivated, inspired,
And ready to take on your next race or training run.
If you've enjoyed this week's episode, leave us a review.
And share it with your fellow adventurous friends.
Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Obstacle Running Adventures.
Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode.
Join us every week for more news.
Stories and interviews from the community.
Our intro song was Streaker by Straight Up.
And our outro music is Iron Paw by The Best.
It's not letting me. It says it won't let you. Won't let me change my background. Administration
Oh, weird.
restrictions placed by administration.
Yeah, I've heard that once before, and I don't know
That's weird.
why, because I don't... I don't...
It just let me blur it just a second ago, but now it's not letting me do that either.